This episode of The Arena, a Multiplatform Gaming News Podcast post-show, is sponsored by, well, of course, you. If you want to learn more about how you can support the show, go to patreon.com/thearena_podcast. Hey everyone, welcome into The Arena, Multiplatform Gaming News Podcast post-show for episode 89. I'm your host, Expat, along with my co-hosts, Burly and Gaming and Turn-Based Carl. Burly and Carl, how you guys holding up, man? Yeah, we just had a long episode there about the state of play and the upcoming Xbox game showcase with Bethesda. So how you guys doing, man? Burly, how are you?
I'm doing good.
Carl, how are you, man?
I'm
good?
hyped,
Hanging
man.
in
There's this great stuff to talk about. You know, state of play was good. We got Summer Game Fest. We got Xbox Bethesda Showcase. There's all kinds of good stuff. But there is something really bad that we just saw. And actually, for some reason, we never mentioned it, and it's not in the run for this. But I'm bringing it up now because we got to talk about it.
Yep.
Sonic Frontiers.
Okay.
Did you guys watch?
Burly, go for it, man.
I have watched this. I am a Sonic fan. Why Sega? What the fuck? Like, I'm sorry. Like that. If you saw that combat trailer, combat for Sonic could just be homing an attack an enemy once, maybe twice. That's it. Or spin dashing in. That's all it should be. That, like, they're trying to do this whole Sonic Frontiers. The idea was interesting in concept, but this is not something I want for Sonic. I've said, if you want to make a 3D game every now and again, fine. Yeah. Make your small little 2D games like Mania and put the quality like you did in Mania. Yeah, I'm all for that, because they did what they proved with Mania, with like having people like Christian Whitehead and all that and doing stuff like that. You can do good games. Yeah. This is just going to be like, graphically, it looks okay. Like, I'm not even going to go in on that, but it's just like, this is not something I ever wanted to see with Sonic. And this I'm going to circle around, draw a circle to remove the armor, and then do a homing attack.
Dude, no, I have to say, I like that as a concept. I just don't think anything in the combat is really being executed well. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they're going to, because this is a whole open world, you're going to get level ups and you're going to get skill points to then. You can now draw the circle, does double the effect and all this.
I mean, that's all fine, but like, you need to put that back in the oven, man. That is underbaked right there.
Well, I'm hoping the rumors are true, that if this Sonic game tanks and does not do well, Sega is not going to be developing them themselves. They're going to farm this out to other studios.
Yeah.
Because I would love to see what some other studios at this point can do. Dude. Sega has not handled Sonic well. Like, they had they had a good little bit for a bit. They did Colors, and Colors was a great game. Then they did Generations, which was a good celebration of the franchise. And then they just did a bunch of crap, and then it was like, okay, we're going to do Mania. Great.
Yeah. I look at that trailer, even both of them, but the first one, I was like, it looks kind of like someone's like, hey, look, I made Sonic in Unreal 5, Like, somebody on their own time just like slapped together some sort of, open world-ish looking Sonic thing. I mean, like, there's the level design. It's like, what is this most random nonsense? Like, there's rails all over the mountainside randomly. There's platforms just floating in the air, and there's tons of popping. There's just platforms popping up in the middle of the sky, all over the place in the distance. I'm like, I don't understand what you're doing.
And at first, in the first like actual trailer thing they showed you collecting coins, and then later on you got the rings. It's like, so you can't, like, you're having two different things. It's like,
that's weird. Yeah.
And
then combat, man. I mean, it just looks like kind of floaty and weightless. It just looks inaccurate, and there doesn't seem to be any doesn't seem like there's any fun or challenge to it, which generally isn't a Sonic thing, which is why, like you said, they keep it simple, because if you're not going to make, deep, engaging combat of any sort, you should probably just make it very simple one-hit enemies. Now, like the boss ideas, I think, again, are good. Like a big giant boss, you gotta run on the leg. It you damage it, then you can run up him and block it. But it all just looks like cheap and simple. Like someone whipped that up like real quick. It doesn't seem like there was a lot of time put into this.
Yeah. You know what? This is going to be a bad criticism of it, but I've played better Sonic games and that look better in Dreams. If anyone remembers that.
Yeah.
And like I've played some good ones because I used to stream Dreams. There's a lot of great creators out on there because it was a cool platform of what you can do.
Yeah.
That was cool to see Dream and stuff Dreams, but Sega, I don't know. If you want to do combat, don't do it with Sonic. Do it with Knuckles. Because he can punch and he can do stuff.
I'm not against that.
I'm just saying, like, if you want to make it believable and a little more interesting, because you can go more, I think, a little more in depth with Sonic, and you don't with Knuckles, and you're not changing Sonic too much.
I mean, whatever. He can punch. He can. It doesn't really matter. But the real thing is, like, the last thing I'll say on this Sonic Frontiers is, like, look, the release date is what? Sometime next year, they say? Mid next year? I think it's.
I think it's fall 2020. They've said this year.
Whatever it is. Look, they need to either delay this game hard, like a year plus, or just cancel it, because I don't think if you put this thing out at all looking like the way it is now, playing the way it looks like it might play, you are going to get destroyed.
Yeah. All right. So with that, let's go ahead and move to our topics for the post show. Of course, we didn't have a chance to talk about this during the regular show, but anyway, we got the news of Dragon Age. The name for the next Dragon Age, it's not Dragon Age 4, it's going to be Dragon Age Dreadwolf. So, So this is from over at Polygon.com. So BioWare announced its next Dragon Age game back in 2018, and on Thursday revealed the name Dreadwolf. According to the blog post on BioWare's website, Solus, introduced in Dragon Age Inquisition, is the title, or Dreadwolf, and the game's antagonist. Evoking Solus, quote, no doubt suggests a spectrum of endless possibilities on where things may go, end quote, BioWare says. So the post says, some say he might be an ancient elven god, but some say not. Others say a betrayer of his people. Or a savior who now seeks to rescue them at the cost of your world. His motives are inscrutable and his methods sometimes questionable, earning him a reputation as something of a trickster deity, a player of dark and dangerous games. So anyway, what are you guys' thoughts on this and the title for the next Dragon Age game? So Carl, we'll start with you on that.
I've never gotten into Dragon Age, and I feel like it's a franchise that I should be into. Everything about it is stuff that is things I'm interested in.
Yeah.
It just never really grabbed me. I'm interested to see what this might be. The title doesn't really do anything for me. I'm like, it's fine. I mean, I think the most interesting thing is that it's not called Dragon Age 4.
Yeah. That's what I thought. Yeah.
They want to, like sort of maybe get people in without thinking like, this is the fourth game. You should know all this stuff, whatever. That does have an effect. That's why they do this a lot now.
Yeah.
I'm just very skeptical of this game. We have to see it. I think we will at Summer Game Fest. But everything I've heard, the delays, the fact that it was multiplayer and they had to rip that out because everyone's like, that's garbage. Nobody wants it. And they're realizing that forcing multiplayer into a lot of these games isn't necessarily a plan for success anymore. Skeptical.
Burly, your thoughts? Well, I was just going to say one quick thing before I give my full thoughts on this is like Dragon Age, it went Dragon Age 2, And then they didn't have the Dragon Age 3. It was Dragon Age Inquisition.
Right.
Oh, they didn't call that 3 Inquisition?
No.
Okay.
Just Dragon Age Inquisition. I just wanted to... I like the title. I've never finished Inquisition. I bought the game day one on PS3 because I loved 1 and 2.
Yeah.
And then PS3 had a known bug in the game where you can get stuck in this one location. And I was like 20-something hours in. And it's like, I don't really want to restart. And the older save that I have is like 6 hours back. And I got to go through one section that I didn't like. So it was like, I just don't want to re-go through that.
Yeah.
But hopefully, like, it has me interested. And you're bringing, like, we know one character that is a part of it. You've got Varric from he was in 2 and he was in Inquisition. I really like that character. So, but I'm hoping we get more stuff from other characters, like bring back, like, because I haven't beaten Inquisition, so I don't know the fates and endings of a bunch of characters. But bring back Hawk. I really liked Hawk from 2, but they only have him in cutscenes for 3, which kind of in Inquisition, which kind of made me mad because I really liked Hawk. Bring back some of these characters and bring them as party members.
Yeah, so hopefully we'll get some more information. Maybe we'll see very, very limited gameplay at Summer Game Fest, or at.
I still think Xbox this game is like 3 years out.
Yeah,
it's 3 like because they've start and stopped development on this and gone through hell, and I think they've lost some people.
I would say at least 2 years. Off. Yeah. So. Well, anyway, something that is not 2 years off, we're actually getting this year. And of course, Burly, this is kind of, well, of course you have Canadian football, obviously, but of course in the States, this is...
CFL sucks, NFL's better. That's all I'll say.
Of course, yeah, of course it is. Anyway, of course, the legendary coach John Madden, who passed away, earlier on this year. The cover of the Madden games are going to have the late John Madden's image on there. So and this is from one of the first Madden games, obviously. So so it's going to have his cover on there. So my question to you, I guess, Carl, being a fellow American, does this mean that this year there is going to be no Super Bowl jinx?
Nah, clearly there won't be.
Yeah, because obviously for all of you that aren't into American football, obviously there's been this thing going on for many years. The Madden Curse. Yeah, exactly. Right. Thanks, Carl. Yeah, I mean, for many years now, people are speculating that the person that dons the cover of the Madden game, whatever team they play for, is cursed and will not win the Super Bowl. And that it was had been true for many years. Actually,
worse. So like something bad would always happen. Like they would have an injury of some sort. Like for a while, that player had a significant injury and they didn't get to play for like a long part of the year.
Yeah, I think that happened to Brady once too. Yeah, with the ACL tear or something like that. And then
the 1 year he didn't win thing.
And then you had Richard Sherman that was on one of the covers, and then that year the Seahawks didn't win. Yeah, so So I don't know. What are you guys' thoughts? I think it's cool to have the late John Madden on the cover, and it kind of is nostalgic because it brings back memories of those early years of the Madden games. Back from the Genesis days and things like that. So anyway, what are your thoughts? Burly, I'll start with you on this. Being a Canadian, but anyway, what are your thoughts on this?
Let's be honest. Like, it's sad that John Madden's passed. They're not doing this to really honor him. They're doing this to pump up the freaking sales. Let's call a spade. What it is. They're not going to put any effort into this game. They're going to put it's going to be a reskin 2022. They're just going to put a little tribute video, I'm sure, in there once you load up the game to John Madden, and maybe show you a little 10-minute thing of going through the history of from the early games to now.
Well, and I think there's going to be a tribute to Madden in this game too. There'll probably be a 10 or 15-minute cutscene of his life and career as a coach and as a broadcaster. So.
Oh yeah, that they'll do, but like that. I feel they'll do the bare minimum they have to because they're putting the iconic image of him and it's all over that. But they're just going to be using him to sell more. They're not. I
don't expect anything, as you're saying, like special about this version of this game because he's on the cover. He's just on the cover because he passed away recently, and that's just something we do, And it is definitely something that like will help sales for sure. They did it with Kobe Bryant, right?
Oh yeah.
Whatever. I do wonder if the Madden brand is sort of at its end, like not because he died so much as like, I think there's a lot of people who don't really know much about him. He was a coach a long time ago at this point, a very long time ago. And then, commentator, he hasn't been a commentator for a very long time as well.
Yeah.
So maybe we see, I mean, it would be cool. I think it would be, if this was the last Madden game, they changed the name after that.
I doubt it. I think
they won't change it unless the games tank.
They just changed FIFA. I mean, so things can happen. Well, I mean, there was other reasons. But
FIFA, they had to. They had no choice.
They could have paid the money. Could have ponied up.
They
they got it.
But we know they have it. But that in that case, they wanted to keep using FIFA for the normal price they had been doing.
Yeah. There is something to consider with Madden. Like they have to deal with his estate now, right? And maybe there is, now that he's gone, there could be a different approach, right? Yeah. So maybe the deal, it could be a similar thing. They're like, well, we want more money, and they could be like, well, sorry, we're leaving. We're gonna change it to I don't know. What was the FIFA one? The dumb name, FC. Football or something. I don't know.
Well, it's a generic name. If they can't use John Madden, I wouldn't be surprised they go, Brady, can we just use you?
Yeah.
Because
Tom Brady football.
No joke. It would, it would boost numbers, and there'd be people. Oh my God, Tom Brady's football game! I gotta buy that.
Yeah. I mean, it's usually a thing that they did, right? Like with like other games, right? The golf games would be, and even old early era NES games had different players attached to them. They didn't stick to one name all the time.
Yeah. I just think, Madden is that much of an icon when it comes to pro football. So I think that to keep his name on the box cover, I think would still.
I'm arguing that he isn't anymore because it's just such an old name at this point.
Yeah, but I mean, all of the younger broadcasters and all of the other players that have come up and have retired and have actually become broadcasters look up to Madden. So I don't know.
But
that's another
for gamers,
argument,
right?
though.
Yeah, like we're talking about the gamers here.
A 10-year-old kid that's playing Madden. I'm sure.
Yeah, he's like, I don't know who Madden is.
Yeah.
You see him on the cover, like that's Madden. Okay, I guess.
But I'm sure his father does.
Probably, yeah.
Probably. So yeah.
But even still, I don't know Madden that well. I know him as commentator. I remember him.
Yeah.
Well,
from when I was younger, but that's a long time ago now.
Yeah, well, I can go farther back, and actually, my father met John Madden a long time ago. Yes.
Oh wow.
Yes, because of course I'm from San Francisco, and we lived, right across the bay, and my father used to work in Oakland, and he had a chance to meet John Madden once. So
that's cool.
Yeah, I mean that was like back in the 1960s, when he was coaching the Raiders. But see. So, I mean, my generation, we definitely know who Madden is. And of course, we've taught our children as being, lovers of American football. Of course, here in Japan, it's called American football. Obviously, in America, it's the NFL. But we teach our children about, the legends of the game, and of course Madden is one of them. And so, I mean, it's passed on. So I think the name will live on as well. That's just my opinion, but we shall see.
I looked it up. FIFA is EA Sports FC.
EA Sports FC. Okay.
Terrible name. Just terrible. So this will become EA Sports NFL or something dumb like that.
I think if they can't reach a new deal with the Madden family, because I have no idea if it's a re-up every year or every couple of years they locked it in or whatever.
Yeah.
We know none of those deals. I think if anyone they want to go use, because they'll try and use another person. And who's the biggest name in football now and for a while? Tom Brady. I could just see it because it's the easiest thing, and Brady's not going to be stupid. He's just going to be like, okay, you're going to give me a bunch of money to use my name? Because he's going to be his final retirement will be coming soon. So
it's plausible. It's definitely plausible.
Yeah, we shall see.
I'm not against it. I don't care. I don't play those games anyway. So
same. I have actually Matt. I don't know if I have it here in my apartment. I have Madden 92 on the Genesis.
Well, they just when it comes to me, I love to play those games back in the 90s. I mean, it's just they've become so complex now, and you have all the rosters, and now you have the drafts, as a part of these games, and and then the whole playbooks of these these teams are on these games. It's so complex, to play these games now. So.
But every once in a while they'll bring this back. They'll have it, get rid of it for a couple of years, and then bring it back as a new feature. Because a couple of years back, my dad bought the year's NHL, and they brought back the one button and just D-pad movement, so you can just have one button go, and I don't have to do lining up the analog sticks to shoot and all that.
Yeah.
And it was just it's more fun to play because it reminds you back of the arcadey sports days on the Genesis and all that.
Yeah.
But they'll take it away for a few games and then bring it back because we need a new feature to sell whatever year it is.
Yeah. Well, speaking of things that aren't coming back this year, our final story is, of course, Ubisoft. They're not planning to hold their own E3 style showcase this June. Of course, obviously last year we saw, and we had, of course, streamed live our reactions to that Ubisoft event when they had Avatar. I mean, I hate to have to bring it up again, but so
Avatar.
Where Carl was happy for 20 seconds, and then when they put that text and Carl's shattered dream.
Man. That game's this year? Is it this year?
Yeah, it's supposed to be. Yeah.
Yeah.
Who knows? I mean, there's a huge amount of rumors out there that we're going to get it at the Summer Game Fest. But anyway, the French publisher has traditionally held a conference each summer. This is from, of course, VideoGamesChronicle.com. Of course, the link is below for all of you video viewers. You can go and check out this article. So, each summer, always in June to coincide with E3, but a company spokesperson told Axios that won't be the case this year. Ubisoft rep said the company isn't planning another product showcase until, quote, later this year, end quote. So, what do you guys think? I mean, later this year, what does that mean? Is it maybe going to be before the Gamescom or before Tokyo Game Show, or probably more likely before the Game Awards? I don't know. What do you guys think? Carl, I'll start with you. Why do you think they're not doing it this year at this time?
Well, I mean,
nothing to show. Nobody, Skull and Bones.
I think because without E3, there's no reason that you have to do it at this specific time. So they're going to go when they're ready. And it's weird. Okay, so I actually thought Skull and Bones was going to be at Summer Game Fest. But it seems like
I don't know.
It seems like actually from what I'm reading that they're just not. They're not going to be part of anything because they weren't listed as one of the partners for Summer Game Fest.
Right.
So I'm guessing they want to keep that for their own event, which will happen later in the year.
Yeah, which I would assume that they're going to show probably the next Assassin's Creed game as well.
Yeah, exactly. So they're going to want to make a big show of it, and they have stuff that they're working on, but they're just not ready to show. So there's no reason you have to give something to Summer Game Fest, right? Like if you want that to be your thing,
Right.
Did you do that? Same thing with like Sony. People think that God of War is going to be at Summer Game Fest, and maybe it will. But also, you might want to keep that for your own event.
Yeah. Burly, your thoughts?
They just, I don't think we'll see them for a while have their own thing, because they are they've had a lot of internal problems, and there's a lot of their last couple of games have not done what they wanted. Like Far Cry 6 sold abysmal compared to 5.
Yeah.
So like they're in,
And that's a shame.
and it's like they are in bad mode. Like what do they have? Because Sands of Time was supposed to be out well by now. We have no idea. They're now just bringing it back to the originals, people that originally did it, because they farmed it out to somewhere and it was so bad. Because that's the only reason why you bring it back. So they're like they're bringing back Sands of Time. So Sands of Time isn't ready.
Carl's daughter wants Ubisoft to come back. Everybody.
Yes, she wants Ubisoft.
She wants that Avatar gameplay trailer.
The only game that we know that's supposed to come this year is a Nintendo game. Is the Mario Rabbids 2.
Oh yeah.
The sequel to that.
Yeah.
Like I played the first game. I bought it last year. The first game for $10. It's not a bad game. Not something I would spend full price.
Yeah.
I like those type of games. Obviously, I really do want to try that one day. It just has to be the right timing.
When it's on for those, because like I bought it through GameStop. I bought the digital code for $10 through GameStop. Downloaded. It's a fun time. I easily got my money, but for me because the game would be $90, brand new. It's like I am not spending $90 on the sequel. As much as I like the first game, you have
if the
to
sequel
do
is like
lot.
definitively better, if everyone says like it's definitively better, then maybe I'll just jump into that.
Yeah. All right, so that's going to do it for. Go ahead, Carl. You have one last thing you want to say there? Go ahead.
No, I just said Ubi.
Okay.
Ubi.
Ubi.
They'll be back. Okay, they're not dead, guys.
No,
Don't
they're
worry.
not dead.
Don't worry.
They'll be
They're
back.
fine.
Yeah.
Skull and Bones, baby. Coming back.
Skull and Bones and Avatar. Yeah, combined. Yeah.
Well, no,
December.
Back to back same day
of it.
releases.
Yeah.
What they were waiting for is now that the trial's over, they're gonna get a certain pirate to make his return in Skull and Bones.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, that and of course, the next Assassin's Creed game, probably what is it? Infinity is that might be called. Who knows?
Infinite, or I thought I can't.
Infinity. Yeah, Assassin's Creed.
I can't remember if it was Infinity. I can't remember. Assassin's Creed. We don't fucking care no more. Buy our shit.
Yeah, Expat will buy.
Yeah, Prince of Persia. I mean, maybe they want to be able to show that again. I know it's delayed, but they've done work on it, and we saw it, and it didn't look very good. And as far as visually speaking, right. So I don't think it's a problem that they're delaying it. Like you want it to be better, delay it. Yes, make it better.
Yeah.
Oh, I have no problem with them delaying it and taking their time. They had farmed it out. They said they farmed it out to someone.
Right. Yeah.
And it didn't work well. So the original developers are taking the game back and doing it. And I'm all for that. Take your time.
Yeah. It was another Ubisoft division, right? But one of the smaller ones, I think, that was working on it.
What was it? A smaller? I can't remember.
It was.
We talked about this story. This was like 3 or 4 months ago. So my memory on that story.
I know. I'm trying to remember too. I'm not 100%, but I think it was. Still,
I just say farmed it out because it's just an easier.
It feels that way when it's one of the small studios that hasn't done that.
We had 3 people working on it. The one guy was working on it who's made loot boxes for our other games, and
yeah. All right, so that's going to do it for the post show, and I just want to say it's great to be back doing the post show again. Of course, last week I did one. It was kind of my own thing that I wanted to get out there and get done. So it's good to be back to a regular post-show format again. So I've been your host, Expat, along with my co-hosts, Burly of Burly and Gaming and Turn-Based Carl. What's that, Carl? Yeah?
It was at Ubisoft Mumbai, and then they moved it to Ubisoft Montreal.
Okay. All right. Thanks for that. All right. So we hope all of you catch us in the next post-show. So, So thank you very much for listening and viewing. So we hope to catch you in the next one. So take care, everyone. Peace.
Bye, everyone.
Out.